Hello, I'm Nick DeRosa. I'm an author from Pennington, New Jersey. This is my novel, The Lost and the Loyal. It's a historical fiction that takes place in Italy during World War II. The passage I'm going to read is the protagonist, Enzo, telling a story to his kids. I hope you enjoy it, and I look forward to seeing you at local author day. When I was a young boy, before I met your mother, even before the Great War, my father took me to a wonderful place. It was a place his father took him when he was a boy. It was early one morning, and I was on the waters with my father. We fished and fished for hours, but we caught nothing. I turned to my father and said, "Papa, why no fish today?" He said, "Enzo, a man should learn to sail in all winds, but sometimes the ocean she plays with you. So, you know what we should do?" And I did not know. He said, "Sometimes you have to play back." Still, I did not know what he meant. "How do you play with the ocean?" I asked. He said, "Come, I will show you." So we put up the sail, pulled up the anchor, and started our journey. Now we were pretty far out at sea, and it looked like we were returning to the Gulf and back to the coast. But we turned instead and sailed to this big island. I had been all around the coast and had seen this island in the distance, but it was too far to swim, and I could not sail on my own. When we arrived at the island, you could see how tall the cliffs were, seemingly touching the sky, and also how steep they were as they plunged into the sea. There were no beaches, only small coves with rock patches similar to the rocks by the port. I turned to my father. "Papa, where do we go now?" He said, "Be patient. You will see. Grab your lunch from the boat and follow me." We tied our boat to the dock and approached a small town by the water. It looked as if the town was built into the cliffs. There were homes, one on top of the other, with little roads weaving between. There were fishermen and merchants all around, eating their lunches before heading back to the waters. We walked for what seemed to be miles up the side of the cliffs. Soon, the roads turned into little paths outlined by little rock walls and overgrown brush. At one point, I could not see the ocean. After much walking, I was tired. Finally, my father said, "Okay, Enzo, walk straight until you get to the opening." So I did. I walked about 20 feet, and when I pushed the last tree out of the way, I felt like I was on top of the world. I could see the beautiful blue ocean for miles and miles. The mountains stopped climbing, and I could peer down the edifice. I could see the village where we started and the docks where we tied our boat. I asked, "Father, is that our home over there?" And he said, "Yes, all the way over there, no more than 15 miles. It was amazing. We sat atop the summit and ate our lunch. While we ate, he told me stories of the people who lived on this island, how people fought over the very mountain we sat upon. He told me the story of the great Greek known as Odysseus, who traveled near this island avoiding it because of the evil sirens who lived there. We sat and talked about history and legend. My father astonished me with his tales, and I would never forget them. When we finished eating, I turned to my father and asked, "Papa, you said before that sometimes the ocean plays with you, and you need to play back. What did you mean?" He smiled at me, a boyish smile. "Come, and let us play with the ocean." So he took my hand, and we ran down the other side of the mountain, around the narrow cliffs, until we reached the part where we could go no further. I looked around, and we were still high above the water. "Papa, where do we go now?" He turned to me and said, "Enzo, the ocean can never be feared. If you fear it, she will know. She likes to play tricks, but more than that, she likes to intimidate. If you show that you want to be with her and that you respect her, you will forever be one." He leaned and grabbed me by the shoulder. "Down there is a secret cove with magical things inside it. I will take you there, and you will forever love the water." Still, I was confused. "But Papa, how do we get to the cove?" My father took his hand off my shoulder, and I will never forget what he said. "Let the ocean catch you and take you there." Then he folded his arms across his chest and jumped.